No bull. No Scotty, no Pippen, no Michael, no Jordan, no bull. No bull. No bull. Only real shit in my town. Not if fake niggas ain't round. No bull. No bull. Yeah. No bull.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky, and you're listening to No Bull AUK, Chicago Bulls podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of No Ball, a UK Chicago Bulls podcast. Thanks for listening, watching, maybe. I don't know if we're going to put this one out on video yet. Shugs' camera's not working, so we can't get the video. So I don't know, maybe we'll put it out, maybe we won't. It could just be an audio-only one. But thanks anyway for listening. Excited to be back. Couldn't drop an episode last week. Couldn't kind of do what I had planned. So, but we're back this week. In fact, I got two this week because I got this one with a certain someone, and then I'm recording another one straight after. So busy night. But if you haven't already seen it, we've got an absolute legend on today, and he's someone. It's weirdly, I think I've only actually met him in person once, but he's someone I call a friend. He's an absolute legend of the UK scene. And he is the guy behind Green Release. Mr. Shugs. How you doing?
Not bad. I don't think I'm going to live up to the expectations you've just built up there, though.
You will, man. Trust me. You will. You absolutely will, 100%. So thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
And I've got to touch as well. Shugs is the man behind the No Ball logo. So
I did, yes.
Yeah, should have got Shugs on a long time ago, so it's great to finally have him on. So yeah, appreciate the logo is awesome, by the way. If you haven't seen it, just search for it. It's amazing. I put it to Shugs about doing this show, and if he was interested in doing me a logo, and he fired one back within, I think it was about 2 hours, just a quick sketch, which is basically now what the main design is. So yeah, shout out to you for that, man. You have got a crazy head when it comes to designing.
Yeah, that's like putting it together is the hard part. My brain will, I think I have undiagnosed ADD. That's what I've been saying for years. My brain will just fire crap at me. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's awesome idea. Sweet. Yeah, let's do that. And it's not until when you actually sketch it out and you're like, nah, that's bad. No. But well, yeah, the no Bull one came about pretty quickly. I was quite happy with it.
It was incredible, man. I remember texting Dean Ginger Shack, I think he's like your best mate, isn't he? And I texted him the picture of just the sketch that you did and said, man, I've just asked Shugs to do this, and within 2 hours, this is what he sent me. And even Dean was like, yeah, he's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So
I did that at work, so I got paid for that technically.
Amazing. Yeah,
I mean, not that anyone from our work's going to listen to this. But let's just say I was on break. Let's say that.
For the record, I did try to pay Shugs, but he would not have any of it. That tells you the type of person he is. So I ended up donating a bit to a charity just to cover, because I was going to pay for one anyway. So yeah, it's awesome, man. We got a little teaser as well later with regards to Shugs designs. One of the reasons he's on as well, something we're going to push. But we will get to that in due course. Some bad news about Shugs is you may or may not know Shugs isn't a Bulls fan.
Shugs is not a Bulls fan. What fan is Shugs, Jimmy?
Well, yeah, it's just this show. This is so typical because this was booked in before I even realised the Bulls schedule. Shugs is a Philadelphia 76ers fan, people.
Why is that an issue, Jimmy?
Well, it very nearly wasn't an issue, Shugs.
Very nearly, but why is it an issue?
It's an issue because Joel Embiid has never lost to the Chicago Bulls. He's 12-0, I believe.
It's a good record.
Every time we've played Joel Embiid, I've woken up to a gift from Shugs of South Park.
Do you
Most of
mean
the time.
you wouldn't happen to mean? I
That's the
mean,
one.
can we play that? I mean, that's technically
That's the one.
that's the one.
We'll just pretend you did that. It sounded like a really good impression. We'll go with that.
Yeah. I've had that like loaded up on my phone, waiting just so I could do that. I might occasionally just keep popping it in here every now and then, just to
I'm
keep
sure
you
you
on your
will.
toes.
And I may mute it on edit. We'll see.
Don't be bitter, Jimmy.
Me, bitter, never.
Never.
For those who watched the game, we were down 19, I think, again, like we were against the Celtics. And the Bulls once again made an incredible comeback. And then we were leading the game. And I wasn't just excited as a Bulls fan. Oh my God, we're finally going to beat Joel Embiid. In fact, I think I was more excited by the fact that I was going to give Shugs a taste of his own medicine. And I had that GIF in my phone ready to send him.
First time ever. No one's actually. I'm surprisingly, because I've sent it to nearly every fan count on nearly every occasion that someone's lost. I have yet to have the receipt.
Well, you very nearly got one Sunday morning.
Very nearly ain't receiving it though, is it, Jim? But we very, very lightly touched on this before we started. I'm about 90% certain that you're the man to blame why all these fan accounts receive this GIF and this video every single time they lose, because you were riling some people up last year in that group chat. So for context, because I don't know how open Jim is about what he's like. I think the Bulls won the first game of the season, top of the championship, top of the East. Picture. Day one, picture, Bulls are the top. Bulls won their second game, picture, Bulls on top. And this continued for every single person they played. The confidence was real. Jimmy was ready to hang a banner in his own bedroom.
Yeah.
And the Sixers game was coming up, and I happened to get both barrels that day, but it didn't work out for old Jim. And I felt like I purposely went out of my way and thought, how could I annoy you? And that seemed like a subtle thing so I actually screen recorded it on YouTube.
Oh, so it's not even actually on the GIF system.
No, I had to go and record the video to send you that. And then I think it amuses me more than anything. The fact that I do the same joke over and over and over and over and over again. And for other people, it's probably annoying to see on their timeline every other day. But for me, it's great. I love it. Probably Sixers fans enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It's like when the season started again and the Bucks won, and Sean from Bucks UK put his video that he puts on with the train. Brilliant video. I think Rory does them all for him.
Yeah.
And it was just like terrible flashbacks from the playoff series last year, because he was putting it after every game, and it was just like, oh dear God. And that's the kind of same feeling I get, not even when I see yours, but just losing to the Sixers because I know yours is coming.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me feel warm inside.
I'm really, really happy for you.
It's nice to know that as a fan of a sports team, that it's not just a concern that your sports team could lose. It's also the fact that you got to do a Mac rap as well.
Oh, absolutely. And a shout out to Laws on my Twitter, who commented on it as well. And I said to her, we knew this pain was coming. The only shock was I didn't actually wake up to it, because you didn't put it on till a little bit later this time.
Yeah.
And for about an hour that morning, Sunday morning, I thought, we've got away with one here. He's forgotten to put it in.
No.
Must have just had a lie in or something, I guess.
No, yeah, I think it was actually. I think it did have a bit of a lie-in. No clocks went back. Yeah.
But we were so close, man.
Well, yeah, like I was saying to you earlier, like I haven't got the Game Pass this year, so I haven't really watched much of anything at the moment. But catching the highlights, and you see the highlights, and we're cruising. Like, oh yeah, like this is great. And then a couple further highlights in, you're like, hang on, this is a 3-point game. That hang on, now they're tied. Now they're in the lead. Like, how the bad word? How the hell
How
have
the
they got to this point? And that's the thing, being a Sixers fan, mate. Like, it's awful. You could be there with a 20+ point lead, and you're still sat there like it's nowhere near over yet.
Boston Celtic fans feel your pain. They don't have a good record when they're up big against the Bulls.
They do not.
It was close, man. It was so close. And if Zach Levine's decision making was better, we'd probably win the game. But this is an issue that I've had with Zach for a long time. I love the man. Had it not be for Zach, we probably there's a lot of games we wouldn't have been in, especially last season and the season before.
Mm.
His decision making at the end of games, man, he's just trying to be the hero, and it's so frustrating. Don't get me wrong, we know he's capable of doing it, but when it doesn't come off, it's just
Yeah, he had a couple buzzer beaters last year, didn't he? I think the year before.
yeah.
So he definitely can be that player. But is he the person you want the ball in the hands of in the last shot?
I don't
Surely
know.
you would think DeRozan, but
DeRozan now, I think one of the good things about Zach did a Q&A last season. I forget what point of the season. I think it was just at the turn of the year after DeRozan had just made two back-to-back buzzer beaters. And one of the questions was who, it was like that one of those 60 seconds, they like five questions at him. And one of the questions was who on the team would you give the ball to for the last year? The game was on the line. And his response was, well, I would normally say me, but I have to say DeMar. And that's, I think, I don't like to say, oh, I speak for everyone when I say this, but I would be surprised if there was a Bulls fan out there that would disagree with DeRozan should be closing games. But in saying that, I remember playing the Knicks last year, and I think it was DeRozan had the ball and he put up a shot. He was obviously asked to close, and it could have gone out. There was a better option with Zach was running towards the basket, if I remember rightly. And the pass was there for Zach to take the last shot, but obviously the last shot was on DeRozan. So my issue with this, who should be taking the last shot? I think it depends on how the defense are playing. Like,
this is what bugs me about that kind of question. Like, or us, everyone sat there like, oh, who should have the last shot? Should it be in Harden? Should it be in Embiid? And you sat there going, well, what's the situation? Because no doubt, if Embiid's got the ball, he's getting doubled.
yeah,
So who's open?
yeah,
Because you've got the Bulls are in a pretty similar situation of their starting five is fairly stacked of talent for someone that could have the ball in their hands at the last shot. So you got Vooch, you got DeMar, you've got Zach, Lonzo's back. That's another solid, shooter there when he's eventually back.
he's back, yeah,
It's the same situation that we'd have where who have you got the ball in the hands of? Embiid, Harden, Maxey is coming up clutch. You could look at like between them three, it shouldn't just be one particular person.
No,
You need to look for whichever the best option is.
yeah, 100%, 100% agree with that. And Zach said in the post game that the better option was a wide open Vooch, and he should have passed the ball to Vooch basically. But listen, the fact that Zach's admitting that, and I put it out on a tweet yesterday when I saw that, that's growth for me because I believe his answer to that before when he's not made it is, well, I know I can make that shot, and that, don't get me wrong, the confidence is great, but to actually acknowledged that there was a better option and he probably should have given the ball to Vooch, that for me is growth. And I think that's the first point to changing the mentality. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see, but it's just heartbreaking. But you know, we were in the game, so there's a lot of positives to take from it. I don't like this having to go 19 points down before they start playing, but hopefully that's something that changes. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like you have to be losing to actually switch on.
Yeah, yeah.
But since we mentioned losing,
I'll mute that in the edit. We got to shoot the free ball better, man. We just have to start shooting. The ball's just it's not happening, and every team we play against seem to shoot it well. So I don't know how we change that, but the perimeter defense needs to be better, and the shot needs to. We've got players that can make 3-point shots, but it's just not happening. I I don't know. I just yeah. I don't know. I'm so sad. It's so hard.
I'm watching you. You're
This-
looking like you're stressing out.
Talking to a Sixers fan after that is tough. I was just looking at the box scores then as well, but it's not loading anyway. Yeah, we were better than we have played against you. I've always said, like, even last season, the one team I wanted to avoid were the Sixers because I thought we were a terrible matchup for you guys. I still don't like watching James Harden play. I would hate to be a fan. I would hate for him to join the Bulls because I don't think I would enjoy watching games like I do.
Yeah. So I've had that question a couple of times. Someone touched on it in the group chat, and they were like, "How can you watch this day in and day out?" Well, like I said, I've not watched much of this season, but I basically watched every Sixers game last season, and after the trade, I'm not gonna lie, it's a hard watch, and you can justify it because they're saying, "Oh, but they're winning, they're actually winning," but we're winning until the second round of the playoffs. That's as far as winning gets us. But the way I look at it is every foul shot that I've got to sit through, Maxi does something great and fun I get to watch. So it's those, you got to look for those little gems of Embiid being annoying. Like, that to me is amusing. If he's annoying another player, now I've got Tucker to look forward to that too as well. Or you're looking at Harden, like, well, airballing. Those two airballs.
The best one was the shimmy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hot. That was against the Celtics. Marcus Smart with a flop of the year.
Oh,
in, like,
that's
the
right.
second
Yeah,
game.
Marcus Smart fell over his shoelaces, didn't he? I remember that.
Skidded halfway across, and then Harden did the little shoulder
That
pop.
shimmy is great when it comes off. I remember him doing it a few times where it has come off, but when it does,
obviously probably one of the most watched clips is against the Clippers.
yes,
The defender went walkabouts. Harden just kind of looked at him, did the shot. It went in. Greatest moment ever. And now
the one he licked his lips. There was one he licked his lips, wasn't there?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was when he was playing for. Oh gosh, I think he was with Houston still at the time.
Yeah.
And he licked his lip as the defender sort of went down. He licked his lips, and I think he made that. He actually made.
Yeah,
that.
he's done it a couple times, but it's twice. Two airballs he had. Well, not two airballs. Sorry, he had the one against Marcus, and then not long after that, he took someone else's ankles and bricked it. It doesn't count if it doesn't go in.
Absolutely doesn't count, and you just look like an absolute idiot.
Especially if you pop the shoulder like that. That's up there with Nick Young turning around and celebrating.
Oh, that's so good. I never get bored of that clip. It's so good. So good.
Kemba did it as well, didn't he? Turned around and started shimmying.
Did he?
Kemba did it as well.
Oh, I don't remember that one. Was that when he was with Charlotte or?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that one. I'll have to look out for that. I don't remember that one. Speaking of Harden and the trade, obviously the Ben Simmons trade, like how are you? Obviously, we've had sort of the group chat and stuff, and I know you try and sort of keep positive and stuff, but well, how did you feel initially about the trade?
Uh, I'm not the biggest Harden fan, and I was quite a big Ben Simmons fan. I was one of
You're
the
a massive,
people,
massive Ben Simmons defender.
yeah, I was one of the people that kept seeing the upside. Um, so the way I always seen it, there was two people. There was me and Mark, the throwback store. We were the people who were sat there like, you were all talking rubbish. Ben Simmons, he's got so much upside. He's got so much potential. He doesn't need to shoot because he's got all this other stuff. He's a great playmaker. He's a great defender. You know, it would be great if he shot during the games. We can see that he shoots because, you see it in the warm up. You see those yearly warm up videos and training videos, the montages that come out. He can shoot. Either that or they're just edited incredibly well. But I was at the O2 watching the Celtics game. Ben Simmons is on the sideline warming up. Free, free, free. So you're like, well, you can do it. So it must be a nerve thing.
Mm.
But it was me and him basically defending him. And then I seen Mark kind of turn. Mark had that moment where he's like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with it.
Was that after
And
the playoffs last
that
year?
was after the Trae
That's
Young
fine.
thing.
Yeah.
And I was kind of the same, but I just don't like the negativity that he received for it. Like, yeah, he cocked up, but he's human at the end of the day. I don't like anyone kind of getting that kind of negativity. It's especially if like what they're saying is true. He's dealing with his own mental stuff. He's dealing with back injuries and all this other stuff. I want to put this out here now. What he did to the Sixers probably wasn't the right way to go about it.
Absolutely not.
Like,
But I
if
think
his
I think
injuries were true,
both parties dealt with that terribly, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. In terms of like the way that it was handled, definitely could have been handled better.
Yeah.
For the trade side of things, it's hard to judge at the moment because he's only played a couple games for Brooklyn, so he probably hasn't knocked all that rust off yet. He's probably incredibly nervous as well, given that he sat out a year, and now he has a lot of attention on him going into Brooklyn, playing with KD, playing with Kyrie. Kyrie asks a lot of his players. It's not like he's went into an easier situation because
No.
I remember a rumor, not a rumor, it might have been a rumor. Someone was saying that the problem was Ben Simmons went on to a team where he was viewed as the guy from day one.
Yeah.
And they were saying, well, that was the issue. But now he's not really the guy in Brooklyn, but he still has the same level of expectations on him. Like that expectation for him to start shooting hasn't went away now that he's left Philly.
No, no, and it's not even just the Nets fans. It's the whole of it's
NBA,
fans of
yeah.
NBA. It's every single fan is just looking for this. My issue with Ben and the shooting the ball is, and I get where you're coming from when he was playing at his elite level of defense and his playmaking and all that sort of stuff. You don't have to have a 3-point shot. I get it, but you kind of need to be competent in that department. You need to be at least a threat. So if you are on outside that line, defenders don't just leave you and go, well, he's not going to shoot or whatever. You need to have something about you. And my big issue with it is, I always go back to this. I speak about it quite often on here. I look at Lonzo Ball. Now, Lonzo Ball could not shoot the ball. His form was absolutely terrible. I mean, I've got probably the worst form you'll ever see when I throw. I am terrible. And I would say Lonzo looked almost as bad as I did. Almost, not quite. The way he's changed to be a very good 3-point shooter. I'm not saying elite. I'm not saying in the Steph Curry league.
Reliable.
Yeah, that's the word. Very reliable, and someone you have to respect when they're out there. For him to be able to put that into his game, why can't Ben Simmons? It's almost like a stubborn thing from, and I'm not saying it is. It might not be, but it's almost like he's being stubborn. Going, do you know what? I don't need to do that, and this is what I've been trying to tell people my whole career. I
Yeah.
don't know.
This was the thing. This was Sixers have had some weird luck with players, just and especially with their shooting. Like Markelle Fultz in college was great, and he gets to the Sixers, and suddenly something's happened. He can't shoot anymore. But you watch him now in Orlando, and he was I was devastated when he went out with the injury because
Such a shame.
he was finally hitting that stride. And I view most players, if they play for the Sixers, I'm pretty loyal to them. Like, wouldn't say I'm loyal to Ben Simmons anymore, but I would definitely defend him for a lot of the crap that he gets. But I think we can touch on, if you look at a couple games, obviously I'm going to say for the Sixers because I watched more of those games.
Of course.
LeBron guarding him. LeBron literally just looked at him and walked away.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can have that 3-point line because I know you're not going to take it.
That then becomes a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's hard to say because at that time, he was creating the most 3-point chances. So you look at the last season, the season where it all went wrong, the Trae Young season, he was the guy that was dishing it to JJ, not JJ, Jesus Christ. He was the guy dishing it to Seth. He was the guy dishing it to Danny. He was the guy creating these opportunities to get the threes. I think he had the most created opportunities for threes. Could be talking out my ass for that, but that's the kind of thing that he has. But the problem is, during the playoffs, he lost that aggressiveness of, well, I've got a space. I'm a 6'10", point guard. I've got Trae Young on me. I'm going to drive to the basket and just try to lay up on him. If someone comes to help, I'll kick it out to the side. And I think for the most part, he was just sat there watching.
Mm.
And I don't think it's that he needs to shoot. Definitely needs to at least threaten it. If you drop, even a midi, if you did that a couple of times in a game, people are like, okay, right, I need to be a bit more switched on guarding you. But the fact that he just wasn't aggressive at all, that's more what I think he needs to do. Drive to the basket, make a pain of yourself. And then if someone tries to double, you've got the ability to get that ball out to someone that's open.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And that was the part that, as a Sixers fan, was the hardest part to watch because he's so capable of all this stuff. And you're just watching him, and I'm not going to say the bare minimum because he was, arguably up there for Defensive Player of the Year. I think, was that year he finished second or something?
I'm not sure. Was that when Gobert got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you say the bare minimum, it's harsh.
Yeah,
but when you say the bare minimum, you're also, he's putting up 4 points. Yeah, he's getting like 9 assists and, 3 steals, 2 blocks. But the points is where people are looking. He had a great night the other night. He had like 11 odd rebounds and, a couple assists. But everyone was just focused on the fact that he only had 4 points.
Or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
And you're like, someone, maybe the stature and the skill set of Ben Simmons, should you be finishing a game with 4 points? And that's what people are looking at. And that's not going to change that he's in Brooklyn.
I think if anything, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, because now, the situation was with Embiid is everyone's looking at it like Joel's blamed Ben for what happened. You can look at it either way with the interview that was done. Some people are saying, oh yeah, he's thrown him under the bus. Other people are saying, well, he's kind of held himself accountable as well. I lean more that side, personally. But now you've got him in a situation where, okay, he's not just been playing with KD, not KD, sorry, he's been playing with Embiid. Now he's playing with KD. Now he's playing with Kyrie. If you get a similar kind of output, that kind of intensifies it a bit. And obviously, he's played with Jimmy Butler before as well. Oh, love it. I think I've got
Put my Jimmy Butler jersey on, especially because I was going to bring up Jimmy Butler.
okay. We'll leave that for a bit later then. I've actually got I'll do a little plug for Hoopin' and Luton. The Rocky Edition Sixers jersey I've got is a Jimmy Butler, which I procured from his lovely site.
Go on there. There's a drop happening, like it would have happened by the time this goes out. So get on there and try and get yourself. I've bought so much from him, and I got so much fire from Elliot at Hoopin' and Luton. Some real grails. So yeah, get on there and have a look. Definitely. Don't know. He had this. I'm wearing. If you're not watching, I'm wearing the old Christmas Day Jimmy Butler jersey with the black Chicago script across. I'm an absolute idiot because Elliot had this in my size, which was a medium in the Adidas jerseys, and in the Nike jerseys I'm a large, so I thought it was too small for me, so I didn't get it. And then it turns out the Adidas jerseys actually come up quite big because I didn't have an Adidas jersey at the time, and it was my size, and I'm an idiot. And I spent the next probably 2 years looking to get one, and I had to pay massively over the odds, and I think it come from America, so I had to pay all those lovely fees as well. So if you're thinking about getting a jersey, just get it. You will regret it if you don't.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
We've all got that kind of grail though, haven't we? Like, oh, hello, that's a throwback.
Green release hat as well, which I'm wearing
Old,
especially.
that's old school.
I can't wear hats that way around though because I just look weird. They don't suit me.
Right. It's the old logo anyway. It's discontinued, so that's some
yeah,
memorabilia. That is.
This is a collection piece now. Oh yeah, can't wait. Hopefully we get the new guy, the little mascot, on some new ones soon.
I'm looking at some things. I've been requested to get plushies made. I don't even know how to begin that.
Yes, yeah, that would be so cool. On the screen now is Shugs' or the Green Release mascot, who hasn't got a name yet. If you go on a social media, follow. Is it just at the Green Release, isn't it?
I think it's Green Release UK. One second.
Let me check. Anyway,
you would think I would know.
You probably should know this.
It is Green Release UK, yeah.
Right, so it's at Green Release UK. Go and follow that. And there's a competition Shugs has run at the moment to name this mascot. And I think you're gonna filter it down to what, 4 that you like?
A couple, yeah.
A couple.
All the creative people so far have pretty much just said Wilson. Which I knew was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen immediately.
Yeah, so and then you can I think Shugs is going to let the people vote on the one they like and then ultimately pick the winner. And if your name gets chosen, you win. Well, you tell them. Why am I telling them? You're here. You can tell them.
You're gonna win some stuff.
Some cool stuff.
Some stuff, yeah. Some throwback stuff. Maybe some new stuff if I've got it by then. But yeah, you know, I'll put something together and send it out.
Cool. So go and get involved in that, people. Why we are talking about Shugs' stuff. Do you know, I should have been more prepared and I think I own every t-shirt that you've made, and I should have had them here. They're literally in the wardrobe here, but I'll be making too much noise. It'll take too long to find them. But there's some awesome stuff. In fact, I had my Monsters Ball Halloween t-shirt on last weekend. We went to a Halloween thing and I wore that. So go on to Shugs' website. He's got some really cool stuff on there. But soon there's going to be something which for me blows everything else that you've ever done out of the water. And that is not a dig against anything else, because I'm not just blowing smoke up you here. I genuinely love everything I've got. I bought the pick and roll long sleeved tee, and I thought I'm never going to wear that because it's just not really my thing with on all the back. It is so cool, such a nice tee. And it turns out I don't really care what people think because I wear it a lot and I really like it. So this is even better than that, in my opinion. If you are just listening, we're going to release these pictures. We'll probably put them out on Twitter and on Instagram. So don't worry, you will see them. But if you're watching, I've gone old school. I've actually used paper. and printed these off. I'll have everyone on my case now for wasting paper, but it's not wasted because I'm probably going to put this in a frame afterwards because it is that cool. This, do you want to talk about the design before I show it, or do you want me just to go for it? What was
Right.
what was the inspiration behind this?
So, as you know, I've just recently kind of rebranded everything, right? So, I worked with these very talented guys in America called Brethren. And we kind of mood boarded sort of thing, where they asked me a bunch of questions and all this kind of stuff. What do I see for the brand? And they asked me this question, and they said, if your brand was a celebrity, who would it be? And immediately, and without thinking, I said Dennis Rodman.
Yes.
Now they asked me why. Why Dennis Rodman? They first off, one of the guys is a massive Chicago Bulls fan. He's so happy that I said Dennis Rodman. But he was like, why Dennis Rodman? It's a bit out there. I was like, well, that's kind of how I view what green release is becoming. It's a bit different. It's a bit out there, but I'm kind of doing my own thing with it, which is kind of what I want to achieve. And that's why Dennis Rodman sticks out for me, because no one done their own thing more for in basketball than Dennis Rodman. So when I started coming up with designs, there was someone fresh on my mind. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it was. Everyone knows how much I love Dennis Rodman. I always say he's my second favorite player of all time, but he's legit on par with Michael Jordan for how much love I have for Dennis Rodman. So Shugs sent me this design, a couple of weeks ago, perhaps?
A couple of weeks ago, yeah, something like that.
And I've had to keep it quiet, which has been very, very difficult. I honestly, I can't say how much I love this. If you don't love this, there's something wrong with you. Seriously. I'm going to show it now. This is the design, firstly. That is incredible. So there's a basketball. There's a worm breaking through the basketball. The worm has piercings, sunglasses, leopard print hair, and then the caption is "Be like Mike," but the Mike is got a line through it, so it's "Be like Dennis the Worm." That is incredible. That will be on the back of the tee, I believe.
Yeah.
And on the front of the tee, you will have this, which is some really cool font, which basically just says, "Embrace your difference, own your weird, love yourself." Which might be one of my favorite catchphrases of all time. That is just, in the world we live in today, that is so good. Like, without getting too carried away, that's like really inspiring. That quote is amazing. Embrace your difference, own your weird, love yourself. That's unreal. And then that's the actual tee, which is the black tee with that logo on the back and the quote on the front, the left chest. It's so good. We will put them out on the socials. So if you haven't seen them and you're listening to this, just go back and search for me or Shugs. We're going to get them out there. There will be news about it will be a pre-order. There will be news. Yeah. We're not sure when yet, but we'll keep you. Shugs will keep you informed on that, and I will obviously retweet and stuff and help with that. But these are going to be so good, and I haven't told Shugs yet, but I'm going to get 2, and I'm going to do a giveaway. So we'll do that once they drop. I'll order 2 up, and then we'll just do a giveaway as well. And they're so cool. So get out there, and the quality of the tees. I know I'm blowing smoke, but I don't even care because it's true. The quality of the tees are seriously, they're unbelievable. They're so good. Remember the very first one I bought off you would have been, it was the Coney Island one, wasn't it?
Coney Island, boy from Coney Island.
Boy from Coney Island, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I'll get it. It'll probably be a bit cheap, but I'm supporting a good friend and what have you." But genuinely, I was surprised by the quality. And to be fair, they've got better since then because you use it. But even that one was unreal quality. So keep an eye out for these and order one, please. Like I want this to be Shugs' biggest thing that he's put on his website. I really want this to blow up, and that's so cool. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get them in, and I'll be taking one to Chicago with me, and
I'm trying to get it sorted to sort you out.
we're gonna try and make that happen. And I'm sure people will love it over there as well. So might even be able to get a bit of international business as well, Shugs. Hopefully, but it is incredible. Seriously, I honestly can't wait to get one. I might have to get three, so as I've got a spare as well.
Yeah, like I kind of want to stress the part on the front though, because I think everyone kind of worries about fitting in. I do, and I think a lot of people do. Especially in basketball, you think it's usually a typical kind of scene, but if you don't fit that mold, don't worry about it. Just kind of do your thing. You'll fit somewhere. Just like I can't stress it enough. People got too much crap to worry about, man.
Yeah. And this is sadly where, as much as I love social media, we all know how much of a horrible place it can be. But yeah, that's what I said about the front, man. It's genuinely inspiring. Like it's unbelievable quote, and it's one of my favorite quotes I've seen for a very long time. Be yourself, absolutely. Forget what anyone else thinks. Just be happy with you. If anyone else has a problem with it, that's on them. Let them deal with it. Just be.
That's on them. That is 100% on them.
Yeah. Yeah, facts, man. Absolute facts. So yeah, keep an eye out for them. I am so excited to get one. Like seriously, so excited. Anything else you want to touch on that, Shugs?
No, man. I'm just curious how much backlash I'm gonna get for crossing out "Be Like Mike."
None. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, and if anyone gives you stick for that, then that's on them. Like we said,
That's on them.
that's on them, man. I love Michael. I got Michael Jordan pictures in the back. I love Michael Jordan. That is brilliant. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, get out. Just keep an eye out for that, and please, if you've got the money, order one. Like I promise you, you will not regret it. I promise. So we are running over, which was expected. But I'm going to play a quick game with Shugs. We've not done this season yet. I always have to shout out Geraint from Orlando Magic UK as well, who gave me this idea. It's something I always enjoyed doing. When I told Shugs or asked Shugs if he wanted to do it, he wasn't so convinced, but I think I've talked him round. There's no pressure. So the game is I'm going to list information about a player. So the teams he played for when he was drafted, the team who drafted him, blah blah blah. The position, the dates of times he was at those teams, etc., etc. And if you want any more clues, we can go along the way. I've got 5. Let's see how we get on. Because
5.
I got 5. We can just do 3 if you want. Because you're a Sixers fan, I've done it. So the players I've chosen have played for both the 76ers and the Chicago Bulls, and other teams probably as well. So let's see how we get on with this.
I'm gonna answer Vooch for all of them because he's the only player I can remember off the top of my head. I'm bound to be right.
Okay,
one of them.
I've got a feeling you're going to get this, So he was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in '99. He was. I'll get to that bit later, actually, because that might give it away. He was drafted by the Bulls in '99. He played for the Bulls from '99 till 2001, where he went to the LA Clippers in 2008. Then he came to you from 2008 to 2012. Any clues? Any ideas, rather?
Not a Scooby-Doo, mate.
Then he went to Dallas Mavericks for a year, then the Atlanta Hawks for 2 years before finishing back up with you in 2016. He wore the number 42 jersey for you. He was a number 1 pick for the Bulls, where he wore number 7, I believe. No, he did. Yeah, number 7. No clues? No ideas?
Keep going.
What else have we got? He's a two-time All-Star, 2002 and 2006. He was co-rookie of the year in 2020. I can't tell you who else got that.
2020?
Sorry,
It's Ben Simmons.
2000, sorry. Not 20. 2000.
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. The going to the Mavericks and the Hawks and coming back, I can't quite nail it.
Okay.
Because my basketball knowledge is awful, and I was just going to expose it.
So is mine, man. Don't worry. It's Elton Brand.
Of course it is. He's fucking in charge of he's in charge of the place.
Yep. Okay, so this one, he's still in the league. This is quite tricky because he wasn't with you for long. He was drafted by the Detroit Pistons in 2012. He went to Cleveland in 2020. Then he spent a bit of time with the Lakers in 21. Then he was with you guys from 21 to 22. Then he was at the Brooklyn Nets for a year last year. And now he's with the Chicago Bulls. He joined this offseason.
Oh, it's Drummond.
Andre Drummond. Yes, there we go. Nice easy one for you.
Yeah.
See, I'm not here to stitch you up. Okay, so this one, let's have a look. He was drafted by, 2 seconds. He was drafted by you guys. I know that much. And I haven't got his listed. Yes, I have. So he was drafted by you guys. The next one's going to give it away a bit too much. Okay, you drafted him in 2011. I'm going to give you that to start with.
Okay.
Can you remember?
Dude, I struggled to remember yesterday.
Yeah, I'm with you. 16th pick overall.
Okay.
You quickly traded him to the Orlando Magic. And then he come to the Chicago Bulls last season. Season before last, towards the end of the season.
Oh, Vooch.
Vooch!
I said I was going to answer him for...
That's why I was shocked you didn't get it quicker.
Dude. You know when, while recording this, all I've been doing is noticing how much I say the word like. Go back and probably do a counter, and I'll have to do a giveaway or something. You know when you put on the spot, and you could name about... Someone's like, name a color.
Yeah.
And suddenly you can't think of any colors.
I 100% with you. So I had another two. One of them I'm just going to give you because I don't think you would have got it. I'd be shocked if you did. Tony Bradley.
No, I wouldn't have.
No, I wasn't aware that he played for you, to be fair. Let's do this one really quick because I think you're going to get this one. I'm trying to big you up now. So he was drafted by the Bulls in 2011. He was a 30th overall pick. He then went to Minnesota in 2017, and then he went to you guys in 2018.
From Minnesota. Oh, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. See, I knew you would get that one.
Jimmy Butler.
And now, of course, he's at the Miami Heat. So there you go. You got what's that? Two out of 4?
3. Yeah, technically, 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4. There we go.
50%. That's a respectable record.
That is pretty good. It's better than I think I did on the Orlando Magic UK podcast. So fair play.
Proud of myself.
That's good. You should be. See, you were worried for nothing. Right.
I reckon you gave me easy ones because you know you like the design.
I gave you the Jimmy Butler one as the easy one.
I mean, Vooch and Drummond ain't the hardest either.
No,
He
okay,
says
fair
as he struggled on them, but
It wasn't.
now that I got it,
I didn't have too many options, so hence why Tony Bradley was in there. I had no idea he played for you guys. He barely plays for the Bulls, to be fair, but yeah, you did well. It wasn't the hardest, but it wasn't the easiest either. So I'm going to test Mo Muncy on that later with Bulls and Celtics players, and we'll see how he gets on. He should get them all, but no pressure, Mo.
I would imagine he would, yeah.
Shugs, thank you so much for joining me, man. I've really enjoyed it. Hope you
Thank
have.
you for having me. It's been good.
It's been good
To
to
be
catch.
honest, it's been a while since we've actually spoken.
It's been too long, man. It's been way.
I think since I was doing a stupid little thing during lockdown, which never seen the light of day.
Let's keep it that way.
Maybe the first episode was good. I don't know what you're talking about. The second one's where it got a bit dicey.
The second one was a bit questionable. We won't go into too much detail, but there was there was a few. Yeah, well, we'll leave it there. The first episode was great fun, to be fair.
Great, good laugh.
Kept us busy, didn't it?
It amused me.
Oh dear, man! Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Like I say, I'm going to try and get this one edited out tonight and get it out there. And yeah, people go keep an eye out for these tees for Dennis Rodman design. It's so good. I honestly I can't talk hardly enough about them. So keep an eye out for them. Go and follow Shugs. Shugs, do you want to shout out your handles? I know we did touch on one of them earlier, but
when he says follow Shugs, not literally. So Twitter is Green Release UK, and Instagram, just to be a little different, is the Green Release UK. Like to change it up.
There we go. That's why we had confusion earlier. We'll blame that.
Yes.
Cool.
Even though the brand is Green Release, but the website is the Green Release because it's about £100 cheaper a year.
What better reason, huh? Guys, go and follow Shugs on social media. Don't actually follow him around. That would just be weird.
And follow me for when we play the Bulls so I can play that lovely, lovely song.
Mute Shugs when we play the Sixers. Mute him. I should have done that. I'm an idiot. I didn't do that. But it's only a matter of time until Joel Embiid is 12-1 against the Chicago Bulls. I'm holding out confidence this season that is happening.
Nah.
He hopes. Guys, thank you for listening again or watching either way. I think I am going to put this out to video because I've shown off all the stuff. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with another episode real quick. Hopefully it will drop a day or two, 24, 48 hours after this one. So thank you to everyone. Enjoy the games. Hopefully the Bulls get some wins. We've got a nice easy one Tuesday night against the Nets. Easy win. And yeah, have a good week enjoying basketball, guys, and we will catch up again soon.